Okay, Rabotai, so we are, first of all, I want to just really quickly tell you right now, we have a very beautiful piece today. For Israel, for Richard, I don't know who that Reed is, I don't know what's his name. Read AI.
No, that's a bot that follows us that records it, and I'm going to try to see if I can record.
Okay, fine. Also, we have Lazar, like I said before. We have Yaakov, we have Daniel, and we have Reuven Zgelov himself. Okay, guys, so I want to share with you a small halakha, and then we're going to get straight into Musar, a very powerful Musar. The next halakha we're learning today, the Shulchan Aruch says, which is Rav David Yosef in his halakha berura, he says, Tov lomar baboker miyad bekumo mishinato modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shehechazarte bi nishmati bechemla rabbi munotecha. Comes the halakha, and the halakha tells us that it's good to say in the morning, immediately when you wake up, modeh ani lefanecha. A lot of us say it. I mean, something easy, something small we do. When do we say it? Do we say it after we're already dressed? Do we say it immediately, right away when we wake up? Right when you wake up. All right. I want you guys to keep that thought. So he says over here, when you're going to say again, you can say it in any language, right? So the whole prayer goes like this, right? Modani lefanech, I give thanks before you, right? Before Hashem. Melech chai v'kayam, living and eternal God. Shehechazarte bi nishmati, for you have returned my soul. Bechemla, right? Into me with compassion. Rabbi imunotecha, great is your faithfulness. Now, this is a very simple halakha. But when you're saying this phrase of Modeh ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, shehechazarte bi nishmati bechemla, right by the word bechemla, you have to stop, and then only do you say Rabbi imunotecha. You guys are with me? Now, if I ask you from the top, let's just be real. Do we really feel that we're giving thanks to Hashem when we wake up in the morning? Or we wake up, again, another day, you have to hear this, hear that.
Yeah, usually like that. Thank you.
So when we're giving this thanks, we're not really thanking Hashem. I mean, we're not really happy. I mean, when you thank somebody saves your life, somebody does something for you. Take a person, somebody who's drowning. Or I saw the other day, somebody was drowning, Rabotai, they show these things, it was on the news, it's nuts. Somebody jumped in, a guy doesn't even know that guy, jumped in just to save a stranger. And they were very thankful. For the rest of their life, they're going to be thankful. I'm asking you guys a question. A person gives his neshama at night to Hashem. What are the guarantees it's going to come back to us? And how do we say thank you? Yeah, but we don't really have any meaning into what we say. Agreed or not?
Agreed.
Yeah, Rabotai, I want to share with you, Rabbi Nissim again says something very beautiful. He says, it's hard to be Jewish. It's hard, honestly, Rabotai. There's so much you have to do. You got to get with me or not?
Yep.
Do this, do that, do this, do that. But he says a very nice liner, and he says, it's harder not to be Jewish. Because you have to understand, when you're running after everything else, like, be honest with yourself. When you do the right thing, you feel good. When you don't do the right thing, automatically you feel like garbage inside. You're always trying to go ahead and fill in that void, that gap inside of you. Try to make yourself feel good. But if we only understood, I spoke to Jigari, Jigari knows this, about on July 4th, 2 hours before Shabbat, me and my boys were playing basketball. Out of nowhere, my son falls, somebody tried to block him, he falls over the base of the basketball hoop. He tells me, Abba, I broke my wrist. I say, please don't say that now. Please don't say that now. He said, I broke my wrist. I'm like, oh man. And I looked at it, and I honestly, I didn't see it was broken. But when the Hatzalah came, they said, Rabbi, it's broken. I'm like, wow. And it was 2 hours before Shabbat. And you should never question Hashem. I'm like, it is what it is. We got into the Hatzalah truck. We were there till 12 o'clock in the morning. And just being there, again, my wife, she got a little bit emotional. Why now? Why him? Out of all, he's like the smallest one. Anyway, from the boys. They get emotional. And as we were there, we saw people, kids, one after another coming in. This one with a broken head, this one with a broken leg. Do we really thank Hashem when you wake up in the morning? It's not just the neshama that you're getting back, but you're getting your whole family back. You see your wife, your kids, your parents, you have grandparents. This is something to be grateful for. This is always modeh ani lefanecha. I give thanks. I really, mamash, give you thanks. You hear a lot of people. Thank you, Hashem. But Yaakov, let me ask you a question, Yaakov. When your wife screams at you, okay, not your wife, Jigarik's wife, because we have mutual understanding. When the wife, do we say thank you, Hashem, or we get upset?
My wife doesn't scream. But what was your question?
If the wife in the house will scream, will you get upset, or will you say thank you, Hashem, for having a wife at least?
No, I mean the initial reaction as a human is always going to be defense. So you're gonna scream back.
Right. So the reason
Say thank you, Hashem, in the middle of her screaming, you're gonna try to calm the situation down.
Correct.
That's the defense right away.
Correct. But the honest truth is, when we become defensive, that means we're lacking imun in Hashem. We're lacking trust in Hashem. How do you get upset? Like, what are you getting upset about? We're speaking with Jigarik, I think we gave this parable the other time. You hit a dog. What does the dog attack? You hit him with a stick. What does he attack? The stick. But the stick did nothing to him. Your wife doesn't do nothing to you. Your children won't do nothing to you. Nobody can do nothing to you without HaKadosh Baruch Hu first allowing that to happen. So really, when we become defensive, it just shows that we're not 100% there. Yeah, when I ask you, Yaakov, how are you going to tell me, Baruch Hashem, thank you Hashem, God bless everything, all these nice words. But unfortunately, Jigari, how many of us are actually living it? And this is what Modani is really about. When you wake up in the morning, it's not just Modani lefanecha malachai. You really have to feel like, thank God you're alive. Thank God you're alive. We were on Kiddush in our house on Shabbat, not in our house, in the shul, in the house of Torah, the next minyan. There was a guy that he came, Rabotai, listen to this, nobody should ever know this. He was collecting money. He said he deals with thousands of Jewish people, unfortunately, that can't, in Israel especially, they can't make ends meet. So he says when you open up the refrigerator, it's empty. So one time he went to a family, he said, I don't get it, you have to give milk to this baby. What do you do? He says, you see I have milk over there a little bit, I take that milk and I dilute it with water. This, Rabotai, do we ever think that how blessed we are to have our refrigerators full? The guy who came out from Hamas. I don't know if you guys saw that guy. To the Baruch Hashem, he's much better. But he was skinny. I don't know if you guys saw that video of him. He said he didn't think about money. He didn't think about... Not all he wanted when was the next meal going to come. And then, how they were treating them like animals, chas v'shalom. I'm just trying to say, if we start putting things into perspective, like what is really important? You're able to eat, move, breathe. You're able to see your children, your wife. You have parents, thank God. These things, when you wake up in the morning, this modani should be on the top. Like you have to be excited. Like you have to wake up with excitement. Like, Mamish, thank you, Hashem. How many people? I'm a rabbi, so unfortunately we get the bad news, chas v'shalom. But how many people do you guys know that went to sleep and they never woke up the next day?
Yeah. No, there's cases like that.
So it's a very big blessing. That's why over here we see today that Modeh Ani Lefanech itself, Rabotai, is a very important prayer. If you're able to wake up with a positive attitude, that's going to continue building your whole day. But if you wake up immediately and then your wife starts nagging you and then you get a phone call from your friend, that's what by the way, what the rabbis say? Israel, are you married, Israel?
Yeah.
You're married. You know how people are married or not? If they have a smile on their face. He's smiling now. Israel, you want to hear something funny? The Shulchan Aruch says that a guy who's not married has no blessing, has no bracha, meaning no parnasa, nothing, no happiness, nothing. So one rabbi said, we see just differently today. Everybody who's single is happy. Everybody who's married is not. But the honest truth is, Rabotai, the Chachamim, they tell us, when you wake up in the morning, your first word should be with Hashem. That's what they say. Don't open up email, text message, Instagram, news. All these things are negative. Before you even begin your day, you're already in a hole. What do you need it for? So that's one of the things. That's what we're trying to see today. with this piece of telling Hashem, Modeh ani lefanecha. Now he does bring down over here, should you wash your hands before? I don't know, if you guys know, we have a process of washing your hands in the morning, right? 6 times, one here, one here, one here, one here, right? To remove the spiritual, to remove the impure spirit from you. So he says you even are allowed to say Modeh ani before you wash your hands. That's how important it is to begin your conversation with Hashem. Anyway, you guys have any other questions before we do conclude?
No. Oh, I wanted to. I got one question.
Yes, Richard. Richard, how come I don't see you, Richard?
Everybody, just a question. So, Rabbi, I sleep upstairs and I do all my praying to Hashem downstairs. Are you saying that I should roll out of the bed? Excuse me, I'm not disrespectful to anyone. After I go, you know what, to the bathroom, I should go downstairs immediately. It usually takes me about 15 minutes to address Hashem with the talis and then the tefillin. I'm in a routine only for a year. Is that okay? Or
Yeah.
are you saying I'm supposed to immediately address Hashem when all my preparation is downstairs?
Right, so what you're doing is perfectly fine. What I am saying is, right when you open up your eyes in the morning, the first word should be to Hashem. Your first word should be basically, I'll tell you to you in English, I give thanks before you, living and eternal God, for you have returned my soul into me with compassion. Great is your faithfulness. That's in English. Right? In Hebrew is the Modeh ani prayer. But no, I'm not speaking about nothing with talid, nothing with tefillin. No, that what you're doing is good. That's when after you take care of your needs. But I'm speaking about in the morning, when you wake up early in the morning, once you open your eyes, the first one you want to speak to is HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Wait, can I just say thank you, Hashem? Isn't that okay for me who's a newcomer?
Correct. You could say thank you Hashem, but there's a difference by saying thank you Hashem and thanking Him for returning your soul back to you. Because you remember one of the things when Richard, are you married?
Yes, and most of the time happy too.
Rich, I want to ask you a question. If your wife asks you, tell me what do you love me for? What does an average guy say? Everything. Just tell me one thing, huh?
He asked me that question.
Richard, so the thing is, whenever you want to thank Hashem, you want to be very specific. By saying thank you Hashem in the morning without being specific, it's nice. But when you're specific and you thank Hashem for exactly the returning of the souls, this is what the rabbis want us to thank Him for. Because you have to remember, Rich, I'm just going to give you a small example. Can you imagine you give your car to somebody? Just imagine this. You give, let's say a person drives a Lexus, whatever, regular car, and you give your car to somebody to drive. He returns it to you at night, bumper scratched, window broken, no gas, tires flat. What are the chances you're going to give the car back to him the next morning?
No shot.
No shot. Richard, but unfortunately, this is what we do. When you're tired, when you go to... Give me a few minutes, please. I know you need... Just give me two... Okay, come 2 minutes. Come over, mama. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Unfortunately, Richard, the problem is with us. When we go to sleep, we're completely exhausted, tired. We're not angels. We sin throughout the day. And what is the miracle that Hashem does with us? Comes a Khatam Sofer and he says, you know something? If I was a mean God, shouldn't return you the neshama. Like you just said, no way, no shot. But Hashem says, you know something? I'm going to give them another shot and another shot and another shot. And that is the greatness of Hashem. He doesn't give up on Jews. A lot of Jews, unfortunately, they give up on themselves. But Hashem, He never gives up on nobody. So this is why it's very important to be specific in returning the neshama. Because if it wouldn't be for the neshama, then Richard, there would be no thank you Hashem also.
Okay, that's good. I got enough. That's good. Thank you.
No problem. Anyway, guys, anyone else? If not, I want you guys to have an excellent day.
I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm going to be on at 5.
Okay, B'ezrat Hashem.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi.
No problem, guys. Enjoy.